Continuing once again on the trend of big things come in small packages, we have a dual release here of the return of Gal's LD with his LD extension boards that offers him just a little bit of extra oomph for his kit, as well as the return of Onion Knight with his LD extension boards and brand new bursts. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on in. As always, big shout out to the Time Right Troop for the lovely infographics that will be displayed in this video. Lovely group of people. If you're not finding them on any of your social media platforms such as the Facebook and or Reddit, or giving the website a check-see, make sure you go do so, as they're a lovely group of people and super helpful to the community. Now, Gao is up first. I'm not going to bother putting up like a video or anything because we're going to be talking about him for like a minute here. Gao's LD pretty much just gives him a better attack aura with the LD. It now offers more hits on his LD count, on his LD itself, and all of his counters. So overall, this just allows Gao's counters to perform even better. So if you have to use his Life Shaver or his Cat Scratch, you'll be able to utilize their counters in a much more efficient manner. And also now his LD gives him the frame buff that only his skills give. So you're now not having to be forced to use one of his skills in order to utilize and refresh this buff. You can still rely just as much on the HP attack as you did before. That's up to you entirely, mostly just because you want to use skills in order to get the EX up. So it's up to you how you're going to run Gao and how you're going to play Gao in the middle of the fight. But pretty much this LD board doesn't give him more damage per se, but it gives him more viability and allows him to inflict even more damage and more usability with his counters. That's pretty much it. Now let's move on to one of the more highly sought after LDs in the entire game. Onion Knight's LD is a doozy. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Onion Knight is and has always been a hybrid attacker that swaps between physical attack and magical attack, and has two interchangeable debuffs that can change on the fly depending on the situation that you need and what you need Onion Knight for doing for in the first place. You need him to do more AoE damage, you're on his magic abilities. You need him to do more single target damage, you're on his second skill, is physical stuff. Now, the LD is a combo package of both physical and magical. It inflicts the Ice and Peril. It allows you to choose one of your characters on your team, and they will actually be able to act on the next turn, scooting them up, and gives the entire party a free ability usage next turn. This is phenomenal because paired with the burst, there's a total of 5 usages for this thing. So overall, you're giving your party so much more utility with this because it, one, helps out characters who struggle with longevity, and 2, even if they don't struggle with longevity, fucking skill spam, baby. Let's go. Just slap some shit around. Another thing that it also gives him is a new framed icon, which raises attack and stuff for Onion Knight accordingly. More damage, more brave damage, more attack, more overflow, great things like that he can inflict. Now the burst is really cool. The burst is, depending on which stance that you are in, if you're in magic, you will inflict an AoE HP damage attack with split damage, and gives him the effect of magical attack up, once the burst phase is over with. And if you're in his physical stance, it is a single target HP attack, but is executed twice and grants the party physical attack up. That's the only thing that changes between the burst effects. The rest of the burst effect is more overflow, more brave damage, and then more HP damage on top of that just for the entire party. This is really good and highly versatile. If you're in a magic-based team, use the magic form. If you're in a physical-based team, use the physical form. If you're a hybrid-based team, choose whichever fucking one that you want. At any given time, the burst effect is still stupid good because it increases brave damage, it increases overflow, increases HP damage. The only thing that you want to pick and choose is whichever one that you need for your team or the one that you're looking for at the time. If you're going up just against a single boss, use the physical one. If you're going up against multiple bosses, use the magical one. If you're going, whatever you need, whatever you want, that's the cool thing about this burst. It is so interchangeable and so versatile. It's actually really, really cool. I will say, though, that if you are looking to pull for Onion Knight, do not worry entirely too much. You can get just the LD and function Onion Knight just fine. But if you want to play Onion Knight at his maximum potential, if you want the best of both worlds and everything that Onion Knight has to offer, that burst is something that you're going to want very much so for your entire party. Mostly just because of the offensive pressure, it helps your party to continue to push out. Onion Knight is a very, very powerful character and a very well sought after character He's had this talk, this hype going around him for a very, very good reason. And that's pretty much it. Ununited is still stupid crazy good, and his only downfalls is that he only single target shaves outside of his LD, EX, and magic burst. And his enchant is still only afflicted in the C65, meaning that most of everything that he's doing is just helping him open up for more damage outside of like the burst and stuff. You can get a total of 10 turns with this enchant, which is cool. It's kind of fine, but you're not putting him on the team to be a specific ice enchanter. He does offer the ice apparel, so if anyone else alongside of him runs the ice element, that's fine. We don't have many characters that do that, but if they do, they do. Hey, there you go. But yeah, you're only going to be getting use of this enchant for about 10 turns. You do not bring him to the team if you are looking for an entire full party enchant for pretty much the entire game. It's not that kind of character. While it is still nice that he does have some enchant, it's only limited to 10 turns. So keep that in mind. But overall, Ununited is a phenomenal character. Very, 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 very good. Now, before we hop out, as always, let's go ahead and just talk about the banners real quick. The banners are, they're pretty solid. Kata Returns is another ice. Both these characters are ice-based, which is kind of solid. Fits alongside of Ununite. Snow is a solid tag. Kata is still solid in terms of everything that she offers. Really, both really solid characters. A little dated, but they're still solid. Over here with Gal, we have Saz, who's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I'll say who has fallen off, but you could still get some decent use out of her with the absurd amounts of longevity that she has, as well as dealing multiple different types of elemental damage. Both of these banners are actually really solid. While the characters are dated, these are some of the better dated characters than we can get on this banner and receive. So overall, really solid. If you are continuing pulling, I wish you the best of luck. And yeah, that'll wrap it up for me on this one, guys. Thank you a ton for watching, and I will see you next time.